McDonald's, the top-rated restaurant in many countries, has several plants that serve your regular burger, fries, and Coke meal. To know how it's done, keep watching. The manufacturing of buns begins with dough. McDonald's makes it using flour, water, liquid yeast, as well as salt. The sponge is then placed in a fermentation chamber for around 4 hours. The dough is then sent down the chute and combined with the remaining ingredients such as sugar and salt. But don't be concerned. Of course, buns are not the healthiest food, but they contain less than 5% sugar. A massive machine then twists the dough before being formed into little balls by a conveyor. The balls are then lightly dusted with flour and placed on special baking pans. The balls must then remain there for 55 minutes and keep them warm at 100 degrees Fahrenheit and with a humidity of 90%. Now, what's next? Sesame seeds, for sure. The buns are run through a machine that coats them evenly. The buns are then placed in a massive oven at 465 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 to 9 minutes. After the buns have been properly cooked, they are placed on a special chiller for around 27 minutes to cool. After that, professionals must inspect them before being sent for slicing and packing in restaurants, where workers will golden brown them in a special oven. In the meantime, at McDonald's, the process of manufacturing beef patties is relatively straightforward. Special sealed vehicles transport the meat to the processing plant. The meat is examined for freshness and harmful bacteria. Following that, lean and fat are combined and processed in a large meat grinder. So, they get 100% actual beef, which you'd get in any grocery shop. The fundamental secret of their beef patties is that as quickly as they are made using the advanced mechanism, they are placed in a massive freezer for 24 minutes. They are then packaged and delivered to the eateries. A single plant of this type can generate around 3 million patties daily. They are fried on a double-sided hot plate at restaurants until they achieve an internal temperature in the range of 155 degrees Fahrenheit. The land on farms is routinely monitored in order to cultivate high-quality lettuce. After harvesting, the veggies are transported to the factory and properly cleaned and disinfected. Following that, professionals inspect the crop for freshness and discard any broken leaves. The lettuce is then cut or sliced depending on how it will be presented in the restaurants. And here are the legendary pickles that go so well with every burger. The base of the Heinz ketchup recipe remains the same: tomatoes, sugar, salt, spices, and vinegar. The ketchup tomatoes are cultivated in specific fields where only chosen seeds are used. It is critical for the future supply that the tomatoes have a high pulp content and a low moisture level so that no starch is added to the product. Then seasonings are added to the tomato sauce, which is created from herbs, spicy peppers, and vegetables. The actual formula is a carefully kept secret, with celery being the sole known component. The resultant mass is then poured into a mixing container, and vinegar, sugar, and salt are added. The ketchup is then disinfected before being placed in a homogenizer, which grinds all components together to create a thick, homogeneous mixture. The ketchup must then be immediately chilled. This technique, along with pasteurization, is required for long-term product storage. Of course, a burger isn't complete without a nice slice of cheese. Let's look at how they're made. The journey of the fish fillet from the sea to the restaurants begins in the sea. First, a significant quantity of fish is collected with nets. They are then transported to the plant to be cleaned and sorted. They are sent to the next manufacturer as huge fish blocks. A sophisticated machine sews each block into 150 parts, which are then coated with batter as they go along the conveyor belt. After which, the fish has to be frozen, and a massive chamber does it in only 8 minutes. Of course, the makers don't want to sell you a faulty product, so they fried several portions. This helps to ensure that the fish are healthy. It has a pleasant flavor, aroma, and color. Farms are where the fries begin their journey. There are enough sunny days to produce potatoes there. After harvesting, the potatoes are stored in a massive potato pillar. The functioning idea is pretty similar to a washing machine. However, the drum has an abrasive inner surface. The potatoes are then transported further down the belt and thoroughly cleansed. The potatoes are then chopped into the familiar fries by a set of blades. It's worth noting that at that point, the potatoes may reach speeds of up to 37 miles per hour. You know, potatoes frequently have black patches. Laser and optical scanners are employed to remove them, automatically identifying faults and eliminating imperfections with a compressed airflow. The potato slices are then dried on large baking pans at about the same time. After performing the last quality check, the potatoes are frozen and packed. All that remains is for the potatoes to arrive at the restaurant, where they will be deep fried in oil rich in oleic acid. So now, what about Coca-Cola, which is regarded as McDonald's most popular drink? The beverage manufacturing process begins with a multi-purification system in the water flows. The liquid is subsequently treated with a combination of sugar, syrup, and concentrate. The mixture is then blended and saturated with carbon dioxide in a specific machine. The final drink is then placed in bottles that go through a filled bottle inspection method that checks the liquid height and ensures the lid is correctly fitted. If the system detects an error, it simply knocks the faulty bottle off the conveyor belt. The bottles are subsequently labeled and another machine stamps the date and time of bottling as well as the drink's expiration date. So here's how your full McDonald's meal is made. Have you ever worked in a McDonald's restaurant or factory? Comment below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.